Welcome back to this new inspirational video. Today I wanted to go on with Chapter 5, the last one actually, from the essay How to Get What You Want. Now Wallace started it out by saying, wealth culture consists in making constructive use of the people and things in your environment. First, get a clear mental picture or vision of what you want. If your present business or profession is not the one most suitable to your talents and tastes, decide upon the one which is most suitable and determine to get into that business or profession and to achieve the very greatest success in it. Get a clear idea of what you want to do and get a mental concept of the utmost success in that business or profession and determine that you will attain to that. This is absolutely beautiful because any successful individual, whether they're aware of this or not, are doing just that. In fact, just recently I listened to an interview done with another YouTuber that has, I think, over 12 million subscribers. It's a huge number. It's not really common for a YouTuber to necessarily have that amount of subscribers, but there are a bunch of them out there with that or even much greater. I think the biggest one has over 100 million subscribers, right? Let that just sink in for a second. That's pretty mind-boggling in a way. But because of the internet, we're connected to so many more people in general that it is possible by now. And it's beautiful that he said, get a clear idea of what you want to do and get a mental concept of the utmost success in that business or profession and determine that you will attain to that. Well, what I heard in that interview I listened to just recently was that this YouTuber in question also said, then when they asked, did you ever expect to become this big with your channel? And he would say, I didn't expect to become this big. I only knew that I wanted to be a YouTuber and I gave it my very best every single day. That's what he said. So he essentially did what Wallace said right here, over 100 years ago. He applied that unconsciously in this day and age. It shows that it works, and it can work for all of us if we are willing to put in that effort to really work from this mentality. To work with the idea, with the power to generate the utmost success in the business we have chosen and really determine that we will attain to that we will keep going, that we're determined to make that happen. He went on to say, give a great deal of time to forming this concept or mental picture. The more clear and definite it is, the easier will be your work. The man who is not quite sure what he wants to build will put up a wobbling and shaky structure. Know what you want and keep the picture of it in the background of your mind night and day. Let it be like a picture on the wall of your room, always in your consciousness, night and day, and then begin to move toward it. Remember that if you have not the fully developed talent now, you can develop it as you go along. You can surely do what you want to do. That is exactly how I operate this channel. I'm gonna be totally honest with you about it. I always have it in the background of my mind that I want to build this channel up with as much inspirational content as I can think of and as I'm compelled to create and inspire to make and share with humanity. And because it's always in the background of my mind, I always have ideas flowing through my mind that I can jot down and work on in order to make this channel grow. Now, even if I'm not working on YouTube and just doing something totally else, I still have it in the background of my mind. While I enjoy other activities, that's something we must learn. We don't want to become workaholics. We want to be able to enjoy everything, of course, but keeping our main purpose in the back of our minds is very important because that is how we will generate wealth and success for ourselves through those activities in the long run. Wallace went on to say that it is quite likely that at present you cannot do the thing you want to do because you are not in the right environment and have not the necessary capital. But this does not hinder you from the beginning to move toward the right environment and from beginning to acquire capital. Remember that you move forward only by doing what you can in your present environment. Suppose that you have only capital enough to operate a newsstand and your great desire is to own a department store. Do not get the idea that there is some magical method by which you can successfully operate a department store on a newsstand capital. There is, however, a mental science method by which you can so operate a newsstand as to certainly cause it to grow into a department store. You see, that's what all these YouTubers, for example, have done, but what anybody does if they achieve great success with their own business in life is that they start out perhaps with nothing. Some do have the right context, if you want to call them that. They can give them a little push in that direction. But most of us will all start with almost nothing essentially, and we're called upon to make it grow into something bigger by holding that vision and purpose to make it grow by our own efforts. Consider that your newsstand is one department of the store you're going to have. Fix your mind on the department store and begin to assimilate the rest of it. You will get it if you make every act and thought constructive. To make every act and thought constructive, everyone must convey the idea of increase. Steadily hold in mind the thought of advancement for yourself. Know that you're advancing toward what you want, and act and speak in this faith. Then every word and act will convey the idea of advancement and increase to others, and they will be drawn to you. Always remember that what all people are seeking is increase. First, study over the facts in regard to the great abundance until you know that there is wealth for you, and that you do not have to take this wealth from anyone else. Avoid the competitive spirit. You can readily see that if there is a limitless abundance, there is enough for you without robbing anyone else. Then, knowing that it is the purpose of nature that you should have what you want, reflect upon the fact that you can get it only by taking action. Consider that you can act only upon your present environment, and do not try to act now upon environment of the future. Then remember that in acting upon your present environment, you must make every act a success in itself, and that in doing this you must hold the purpose to get what you want. You can hold this purpose only as you get a clear mental picture of what you want. Be sure that you have that. Also remember that your actions will not have dynamic moving power unless you have an unwavering faith that you get what you want. Form a clear mental picture of what you want. Hold the purpose to get it. Do everything perfectly, not in a servile spirit, but because you are a mastermind. Keep unwavering faith in your ultimate attainment of your goal, and you cannot fail to move forward. Now that is the end of chapter 5 and also the end of the essay itself. It is just a beautiful short little essay that reminds us of the most important part, which is to take action from our present environment, right? Because many people, even though they know what their dreams are, feel really stuck in their present environment because they're only looking at elements of their own dream that they can't really act upon right now. You see, I would love my YouTube channel to be a full-time career, and I know it is for many people out there, so I'm simply applying Wallace's work, and I'm determined to make it so for myself, to keep building up this channel until that point is reached where it is a full-time career for me. But I have to act in my present circumstances in order to build it to that level. So I can't just sit here and hope that it will happen out of nowhere. I have to stay active, keep working on these inspired ideas that I receive from the universe, and I keep sharing them with humanity for anyone that is ready to listen to my message, so that they too can become inspired on how to live a better life. That is absolutely beautiful, because there are already people in private at least that sometimes text me and that know my YouTube channel that are actually admitting that they have become insanely inspired by the things that I've shared so far. And they've seen drastic changes in both their physical life as well as their mental and emotional well-being by becoming aware of these powers of consciousness that they exist within themselves, and they have new hope and new passion and motivation to create a wonderful future for themselves. And the goal for me is to do that for as many people as I can around the world through this YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep growing together. If you stick along for the ride, you'll see it happen. And it can be the same for you and your goals if you work with that same determination as I have, and as any other successful person you might admire now also does. Now, if you've listened to all the parts of this essay, I want to thank you for your support, and I hope it will help you out in achieving your own wildest dreams in life. But before I leave you, I wanted to share with you a quote that was actually said and written by Napoleon Hill that really ties in beautifully to all the elements of this essay. He said the following: "An educated person is one who has so developed the faculties of their mind that they may acquire anything they want, or its equivalent, without violating the rights of others." Remember the mental faculties we shared earlier throughout this essay. It is important to use those because that is how you will get what you want. That is how you will always find or create a way in order to manifest your own dreams. So go over it carefully if you haven't remembered all the points, and keep burning them into your mind. And then you'll start to live in a certain way and get what you want. Now, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to receive inspirational videos on a regular basis. And with that being said, dear viewer, never forget that we are the dreamers.